My name is Muad Elgonga. I'm a second year neuroscience student here at Western University. So I'm working with Professor Natasha Mhatre in the biology department. She works with spiders and crickets and other animals. Right now I'm working with a master's student, Reese Gartley, on her project. We're working with spiders and we put them under sedation using carbon dioxide, and we'll take body measurements as well as taking joint stiffness measurements, and that's kind of an interesting setup where you'd put them in a little container and we do a number of weighted experiments with their leg. These measurements hopefully are going to be used to try and find a relationship between the two so that they can be applied to models looking at how spider vibrations spread throughout the leg and body of the spider as soon as it transmits through the web. And this could tell us a lot about how vibrations move through a spider and how spider communicates and how the spider receives signals and transmissions from the web. And with opportunities like that, again with research opportunities, you really have to seek out and look for these opportunities. If you're really eager to do something, it never hurts to reach out to professors that you are interested in working with, anything that you see that interests you. I sent Natasha an email inquiring about whether there'd be any opportunities for me to volunteer or help out, and she replied and reached out to me, and here I am working in the summer.
I'm Aryan Sadikian. I'm a fourth year student in kinesiology at Western. Western's provided a lot of opportunities for students. For me, I'm currently a recipient for the USRI program, a summer research internship here. I'm working at the Mhatre lab where I was able to work with a PhD student, Hossein, where I am doing most of his methods and data collection for the summer. Western has a lot of great professors. I took a class under Professor Mhatre where I actually wanted to keep on learning from her. So at the end of the term, I asked if I could get a job in her lab. And that led to an eventual internship over this summer where I could work here. The focus of a lot of the teaching, especially in biology, I've found is a lot on application. The overall knowledge is great to learn eventually, but later on in later years, they focus on application of the knowledge you gather. And that was very important moving forward, especially when I got to apply it all during the research I do this summer. During my internship here, I have been doing the data collection and working on the first chapter of a PhD project here with a PhD student, Hossein Azgari. It's been very interesting because I got to work with black widow spiders I never thought I'd work with. I got to develop methods and think about analysis moving forward. I also got to learn about new software such as Deep Lab Cut, working with Python I never got to work before, and other programs like Anapose, working on markerless tracking and biomechanics. The first chapter, the data collection I'm working on, is actually training a neural network to work on markerless tracking. This will help us analyze any postures or biomechanic walking or joint tuning that will be necessary for black widows to see or to view prey or mates or predators.
I'm Lachlan Fisher. I'm going into my second year and I am in integrated science doing an honor specialization in synthetic biology. So through my program, actually, because we're smaller, Natasha was looking for students from integrated science to work with one of her master's students. So that was how I got in. But then through that, I got the job here and then I applied for funding through the university. They offer the USRI, which is the University Summer Research Internship. And it's really good because they'll pay students for research over the summer and then you get published at the end and then you actually get to work in a lab environment and you also get to meet other students doing USRI, which is really nice to again build that community. So Reese Gartley, my master's student that I'm working with, she reached out to my program coordinator, Felix Lee, and then he reached out to us. But I do know from other students that they also for me as well, we emailed professors and we reached out to them. So there are other volunteer options through that. So there's always ways to get engaged with the community in Western. You just got to go out for it. Yeah, so I'm working under Reese Gartley. She's a master's student. She's creating biomechanical models of various spiders. And right now we're working on joint stiffness. So we're going out, we're collecting spiders, then we're putting them in holders and we're measuring how forces work on their legs to see how stiff certain muscles are, and we're using that information to build the biomechanical models because it's never been studied in spiders before, so it's very novel work in that. And we're also looking at how the muscles dampen forces, which is a side project.